Welcome to Mastering Solutions. I've drawn a picture of what's happening here. We have a little tree cut out and it says that this candle casts a shadow up against the wall. And we're told that the height of the shadow here is 15 centimeters tall. And the height of the little tree cutout over here is 8.2 centimeters tall. And so we need to figure out how far the candle is from the wall. The pictures are very helpful in this to keep everything organized because it can get a little bit confused. So we have this distance here, and I'm going to say this is S for our object distance. I'm using that because that is a very common variable, and we'll use this a ton in the next chapter. Other people will use different things. Some people will use U. Some people will use D. So I'll be using S, so don't let it confuse you if the books or someone else uses a different variable here. And then we also know that this distance over here is, of course, what we're trying to solve for. And I'm going to say that's S prime, or our image distance. So the equation that we'll be using for this is tangent of the angle is equal to our object height, h, over our object distance, s, and that's also equal to our image height over our image distance, s. We aren't given any sort of an angle here, and so we're going to use these two and set them equal to each other. So h over s is equal to h prime over s prime. Now we're trying to solve for this distance here, the s prime, or our image distance. And so if we multiply both sides of the equation by s prime, and then we'll divide both sides of the equation by this, h over s. If we rewrite that, we have s prime is equal to h prime divided by h over s. Now, we know if we divide by a fraction, we could reduce this further. If you plugged in the numbers here, you would get the correct answer. But s prime, you could also write it this way, h prime times s over h, or also h prime s over h. These are all saying the same thing here. So now we have all of the information here. I guess I didn't write it here, but the question tells us that the candle is 3.2 centimeters from the tree cutout here. Now, remember, whatever units we plug into the equation, that's what it's going to give us out. And since we have everything in centimeters, I'll just keep it at centimeters, and that way it'll simplify our life just a little bit, and it will give us centimeters for the answer. So the image distance is going to be equal to h prime, which we said the object height is 15 centimeters. And then we're going to multiply that by the object distance, which we said is 3.2 centimeters, over the object height, which we said is 8.2 centimeters. So all the centimeters are going to cancel here. So now when we plug this into our calculator, we have 15 centimeters multiplied by 3.2 centimeters divided by 8.2 centimeters. And that gives us 5.9. So we have 5.9 centimeters for our image distance, or the distance from the candle to the shadow on the wall.